wish I knew how it would feel to be free. I wish I could break all these chains holding me. I wish I could say all the things I should say. I say it loud, say it clear for the whole wide world.
We'd like to welcome you to our 6th annual MLK Junior event. And this has been a great day. I don't know if you were here during the morning, but we have a morning program for families and children. And I don't know if the CEO of the Waterfront Center is here, Daniel Johnson, but he reported to me earlier that there were over 700 people here this morning. I got more to say? Okay. You're looking at me like I'm not done. All right.
Family.
So, and he's right, because I need to thank the Waterfront, the Edmonds Waterfront Center folks who have made this facility available to us all day.
Yeah.
And we are grateful to Robin Ullman, who is the operations director. She's also on the LEVL, Lift Every Voice Legacy Board, to Patrick Carter, and to Michelle, and to Ilham, and this whole staff who will bring all this together, create all of this, and then when you leave, they'll take it all down. And so I'm just so thankful for them for their help. Now, my friend and my colleague I introduced, local author, he co-hosts. Do you do a podcast?
Yeah.
You travel around the country to speak. I was at a Washington State University football game, go Cougs, and we were playing Utah, and it was halftime. And I looked up at the screen. You know, they just run things on the screen while there's halftime. And I saw Richard Taylor Jr. making a little bit of a talk on mental health and helping young students stay healthy mentally and socially. And so I'm really happy that you're here to join us today.
I'm happy to be here. Entering 6 years. I think it's important for us to make sure that we give you your flowers as well, though, to say thank you, right? 6 years of teaching us. For taking Dr. King's, not only his legacy, but his lessons, his values, and giving us a space and opportunity to reflect on it, right? I think that's really important. Congratulations. I can't tell you how many times Donnie has come to me and said, this is my last year. And here we are again, January of 24.
This is my last year.
But no, in all seriousness, I want to say thank you to you, the LEVL board, all of our volunteers. Man, just you're setting a precedence for all of us. And I think it's important for us as a community to continue to look at you as a pillar of hope as we take Dr. King's hope and you keeping that legacy alive. So thank you, Donnie.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, friends, at this time, before we go ahead and fully get our event underway, I think it's very important for us to make sure that we start with the blessing of the land that we're resting underneath our feet right now. And so we want to do that by acknowledging the ancestral heritage of this area. Tonight, we have a very special guest. We've asked Diana White, who is the president of the Teachers of Color Foundation and a member of the Kansas-based Potawatomi Indians, to come and do the blessing tonight. So Diana, can you come up so we can begin this journey together? Let's welcome her at this time. Thank you.
Good evening, all. Good evening. My name is Diana White. I come to you as a mom, a wife, a friend, and a community leader here in Edmonds. While I live here in Edmonds, my Potawatomi ancestors called Turtle Island home, and we're originally from the Great Lakes region. We are also called the Keepers of the Fire. The name given to me by my ancestors is Ashtanoqua. I am the daughter of Shanakisko-Kwa and the proud granddaughter of Zawi-Kwa and Miakuek. Do I have my slides? Well, slides. There's me. Well, first I would like to acknowledge that we're standing on the traditional homeland of the people of the Tulalip tribes, including the Snohomish, the Snoqualmie, the Stillaguamish, and other allied tribes that are part of the Coast Salish region, who have been stewards of this land since time immemorial. While acknowledgement is good, I'd like to go a little further, and I would like to share some recent stories about this land and these peoples. I had the great honor of traveling on canoe journey this past summer, and I was able to visit several of these tribes. I hope my stories leave you with a better understanding of the heart and soul of the Coast Salish people and the things that they have learned from their ancestors. So one of the first things I learned was about cedar. I have a big example here. So cedar is also called the tree of life. We use it for so many things. We use it for clothing. My hat's made of cedar. My rattle here is made of cedar. The canoes, baskets, clothing, everything you can think of. And the cedar is protection. It protects us all. It gives us strength and wisdom, just among the few things. So this cedar, and I have a picture of it right here on the bottom left. So this cedar is from a tree in Hutt Park, just right up the hill in Edmonds. And if I try to wrap my arms around that tree, I can't even get halfway around. That's how big that tree is. And if you look right next to it on the right, it actually came from a nurse log. So that nurse log is even bigger than the tree that this came from. So just imagine the years and years of life that has came through these cedar trees together, protecting us, looking over us, nourishing all of us through all these years. So what I would like to do is brush this along the stage in protection for all of us that are here today. And at the end of the night, I will return this back out to the sea as to show the honor and respect that this cedar deserves for watching over us. So the next thing I learned about was generosity. And I call this the spirit of potlatch, not to be confused with potluck, totally different things. But some Coast Salish tribes, and especially in Canada, practice potlatch. They would celebrate births and deaths and weddings and all kinds of events. But the white people never understood why the natives would want to give away all of their goods. And so guess what they did? They banned it. They outlawed it for over 7 decades. And it never came back until around 1951. And so as part of a canoe family, when you're traveling, you make gifts. You make gifts all year long, and you especially make them when you're on canoe journey. And here's a picture on the left of some rings that I made, and there's also some wood burning projects that we do. We do all kinds of gifts. And what we do is we present these gifts to our hosts. So, we're traveling down, they welcome us ashore, they bring us on for a meal, share songs and dance, all up and down the coast. So this gifting is really a big deal. So the first stop that we came to was Lummi, up north by Bellingham. And what struck me at Lummi was how helpful everybody was. When we were pulling our canoe ashore for the first time, all we had to do was say, hey, I need a hand here, and just swarms of people would come and help you with your canoe. You never felt that far from a helping hand. The next stop was the Swinomish, which is right near LeConner, and there I learned about respect for our elders. So my husband and my 94-year-old father-in-law came by to visit, and every time we went somewhere, they brought him plates of food. He was first in line wherever we went. He got the best seats and the whole thing to watch the songs and dances. And at one time, they even told all the young people to go sit down in front because you're standing in the way of all the elders, which I thought was great. And then my father-in-law leans over to me and he goes, are they always this nice to the elders? And I just proudly said, yes, always. So at Tulalip, they were so generous. They opened their schools and their community centers. And so all of these people had places to stay and places to pitch our tents and bathrooms and showers. There was nearly 100 canoes by then. At Suquamish, just south of Kingston, there were hundreds of volunteers cooking fresh mussels and clams and salmon. And they would start these huge fires in the middle of the day and just tend to them all day long, and then they would put the clams and mussels on there just in time for dinner so that we all could enjoy a huge feast. And this picture doesn't do it justice, but the size of that clam bed right there is probably bigger than a pickup truck. That's how big, and there were several of those. So finally, the Muckleshoot tribe, who were the major hosts of the 2023 journey. And it is a big deal to be a host. So imagine over 100 canoes. They're pullers or paddlers, their support teams, their families and friends, and it is all open to the public. And they don't charge admission. Everything's free. There's no tickets or wristbands or anything like that. And this goes on for over an entire week for 24 hours a day. It's quite amazing. And the culmination of the journey is when all the visiting tribes get to share their song and dance. And it's just really something amazing to see. So the last day of Canoe Journey was just so unbelievable. I've never witnessed so much generosity in my life. All year long, the Muckleshoot community is busy making things. The young people, the old people, woodworkers, canoe builders, everyone is working. They give away drums and hats and jewelry and bowls and pillows and anything you can think of. They even made this cute little necklace I'm wearing. And of course, the elders are always the first to receive, of course. So finally, the Muckleshoot, if you look at this picture, they presented not just one, but 5 canoes to the other tribes and youth groups in the area. And every time they brought out another canoe, the crowd noise just got louder and louder as they brought out other canoes. So you see, the Coast Salish tradition of potlatch is alive and well today. And if you think about it, we live in a culture where those who accumulate the most are the most respected. But imagine a world where the opposite is true, where those that give away the most earn our highest respect. Imagine the importance of that, where if you give away the most, you're respected. So let me leave you with this lesson that I've learned from the Coast Salish people and their ancestors. It's not what we take, but it's what we give. So when I was writing this speech, the 2 themes, as you could see, are generosity and elders. And I'm like, generosity, elders. Oh, hey, I know someone that applies to. His name's Donnie. So Donnie, come on up. Yes. So, I want you to come over here. So Donnie, it's a traditional Native custom to present a blanket to somebody. Somebody who is special and significant and respected in our community. Donnie has been my friend and mentor for many, many years, and I've watched this event grow from something very, very small to very, very big as it is today. And, you know, honoring Reverend King's work is your life, and I just wanted, you know, just to speak for the community and for myself of just how important this work is and how meaningful it is. So please. So let's honor this man, and thank you. Thank you, miigwech.
I am touched. Thank you. That was totally unexpected. I am very touched. Thank you. Wow. Let me collect myself for a little bit. And I'd like to introduce the Martin Luther, or the Greater Everett MLK Celebration Ensemble.
love you, Lord, for your mercy never failed me. And all my days I've been held in your hands. From the moment that I wake up until I lay my head, I will sing of the goodness of God. 'Cause all my life you have been faithful, and all my life you have been so, so good. And with every breath that I am able, oh, I will sing of the goodness of God. I love your voice. You have led me through the fire and darkest nights. You are close like no other. I've known you as a father, I've known you as a friend, and I have lived in the goodness of God. Oh, in all of my life, you've been faithful, God. And all of my life, you've been so good. And with every breath that I'm able, oh, I will sing of the goodness of God. All of my life, you've been faithful, God. And all of my life, you have been so, so good. And with every breath, with everything that's within me, oh, I will sing of the goodness of God. Hey, 'cause your goodness is running after me. 'Cause your goodness is running after me. With my life laid down, I surrender now. I'll give you everything, oh Lord. 'Cause your goodness is running after me. Your goodness is running after me. I don't deserve your goodness. It's running after me. With my life laid down, I surrender now. I give you everything, oh Lord. 'Cause your goodness is running after me. Goodness is running after me. Your goodness is running after me. Oh, with my life laid down, I surrender now. I give you everything, oh Lord. 'Cause your goodness is running after me. And all my life you have been faithful. And all my life you have been so, so good. And with every breath, with everything that's within me, I will sing of the goodness of God. I will sing of the goodness of God. I'm gonna sing of the goodness
Dr. King's legacy has been with us for 70 years, and over those years, each generation has shaped its message to fit their station in life. So here tonight, providing us with the words of a younger generation, is recent Seattle University graduate and an emerging influencer in our community, William Luckett.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hey, y'all, it's so wonderful to be here tonight to honor Dr. King's legacy. But before we get started, can we get another hand clap for Donnie for putting this whole thing on for us? So I brought my notes with me tonight. Is that okay? Is that all right? All right, cool, cool. So this first piece, I think, will set the scene here for the main course. So I'll let it speak for itself. Guilty by association. A rose is born through germination. A rose becomes a bouquet when many are grouped together. But a rose can only grow after the rain has glistened its tether. Does a rose know it's a rose, or does it just grow? Can a rose grow lonely? Petals lost in the right season. Reclaim the dream. America, a land of milk and honey, full of promises and potential, but don't let your nose get runny. Because with brown skin and no money, people will assume you're a dummy. Love your neighbor as you would yourself. Dr. King's message has no place getting dusty on a shelf. Forgiveness, peace, reconciliation, and from a young man's perspective, building blocks that need support this nation. But racism still mans its station. In a fight against the racist beast, only love moves mountains from west to east. Someday, people of all colors will sit down as one and feast, whether it be with unleavened bread or with dough infused with yeast. Bridge the gap between the haves and the have-nots, because this great divide has us all spinning in a tempest made of our own thoughts. Nonviolent resistance in sweltering heat during the year of 1963 would have made any man or woman wish they had an ice chest for feet. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., a three-part being, man, myth, legend. Which one are you seeing? Mind, body, soul, flesh, fat, bone. In a time where there were no Crocs, and certainly not cell phones. Reclaim the dream. Have faith in yourself. Keep on believing, regardless of the cards you were dealt. Fight for justice and constantly improve. Finding things that we all have in common will put you in that spiritual jazz kind of groove. The meaning and the message for Reverend King. Keep on dreaming, and may your spirit be ever infused with love, faith, and imagination. That way on the other side, we will have birthed a praiseworthy creation. Thank you. All right. Appreciate you.
Dear friends, you're in for a treat, so please do us a favor, sit back and get ready for this special segment with our good friend, Josephine Howe and her band, and this time that we're calling Got a Minute.
Hold on, just a little while longer. Hold on, just a little while longer. Hey, hold on, just a little while longer, and everything will be all right. Everything will be all right. pray on just a little while longer. Oh, pray on just a little while longer. Hey, pray on just a little while longer, and everything will be all right. Everything will be all right. Fight on just a little while longer. Fight on just a little while longer. Fight on just a little while longer. And everything will be all right. I said everything will be all right. That's what my great grandmama used to do. We got a minute. Can we have a conversation? Can we have a talk? In order to obtain, reclaim, and go after something, you have to believe that it's there for you. So if you hold on just a little while longer, it might not take the time that you want, but it is obtainable. It is attainable if you believe that it's there. So we as a people have held on. We as those who walked with Dr. King, and even before Dr. King, we believe that there is something worth fighting for. And even though we have opposition, even though most people don't want to walk with us, we got some that will walk with us. I got some that'll walk with me. Hey, band, come on, walk with me. Y'all give it up for Mr. Eric Silvers, Mr. Medeiros Dixon, Mr. Douglas Barnett, and Mr. Christopher Patan. Now look, this is a participatory kind of thing. I forgot my shoes. I got these boots on. I can't be up here that long because my feet are sweating. I need you to pay attention. You got me? All right. Through this journey, it is not for the faint at heart. This journey has had music at the beginning, in the middle, and at the end. Did you not know that in times of old, that whenever our army went out, they would send the musicians first? You know why they sent the musicians? Because music can get where I can't get. See, you might see me, and I need you to see me. I'm black and I'm beautiful. I need you to see me. But when you see me and I'm talking, sometimes you can't hear me. But when I start the music, it can go places where my physical body can't go. So on this journey, as we reclaim our dream, there are some songs that help us to not give up, not turn back, not say that you don't want me to have it. It's not yours to give it to me. I was born with that right. So in order to reclaim it, I just need to go grab it. Can somebody go grab it with me? You, grab it with me. You grab it with me. Come on. Come on. Ooh. I do it for her. I do it for her. Come here. Come here. Yeah, you too. I do it for you. I do it for you. Come on. Come on. Yeah. I do it for you. Just can't give up now. I've come too far from where I started from. Nobody this road would be easy, and I don't believe he brought me this far just to leave me. What kind of friend would I be to leave them? There will be mountains that I will have to climb, and there will be battles that I will have to fight. Victory or defeat, it's up to me to decide. But how can I expect to win if I never try? So I just can't give up now. I've come too far from where I started from. Nobody told me that this road was gonna be easy. I don't believe he brought me this far to leave me. Can y'all give them a hand right here? I don't just do it for myself. King didn't just do it for himself, and all the ones that you heard about, my great-grandmother didn't just do it for herself. She knew she had generations after generations after generations that would come. She knew that we would not be X'd out. So she reminded me that the dream is a dream that you go for. But I need you to understand that you don't have to just keep dreaming. You can actually make this dream a reality. You can go higher and higher and higher. If you can believe it, you can achieve it. Do I have anybody that will go higher with me and take this walk with me? Wave your hand, take me up. I just can't give up now. I've come too far from where I started from. Nobody told me that this road would be easy. And I don't believe that he brought me this far to leave me. Now I need you to understand that it's good to have it in your heart and it's great to have it in your mind. But moving forward means you gotta actually put some action to it. You gotta move. How many of you would stand with me and move with me as we go a little higher? I just wanna see it for myself. Take me up. I just can't give up now. I've come too far from where I started from. Hey, nobody told me that the road would be easy. And I don't believe he brought me this far to leave me. Now I know that there has been rumors and that you can't get next to somebody, but you're already next to them. You're already there. So say, excuse me while I make us stronger. Tell somebody, excuse me while I make us stronger. Now in order to do that, something gotta happen. Lock arms with the person next to you. Come on, lock arms, lock arms. Lock arms with the person next to you. You ain't got nobody, run over there and lock arms with them. Lock arms with the person next to you. And if you speak it, you can make it manifest. Turn it up, turn it up. Take me up. I just can't give up now. I've come too far believe he brought me this far. I don't believe he brought me. Help me sing it, y'all.
I don't believe he brought me this far.
I
I don't believe he brought me this
give
far.
it to my
I
don't
don't
believe
he
he.
brought me
Tell
this
yourself
far.
I
I don't believe that he
one
brought me
more
this
time.
far.
I
Don't
believe
that
he brought me.
this
I don't believe he brought us this far. Just to leave me. Some things are just gonna happen. Some things are just gonna be. And you know what? I'm not trying to run from them. I know there are going to be mountains that I got to climb, and there are going to be things that I have to do, and I'm ready for the challenge. Are you ready for the challenge? Because you got to understand that with the good comes the bad. With the beautiful comes the ugly. But if you mix it all together, you can't tell the difference. Just make a joyful noise. Somebody make a joyful noise. Y'all ain't really happy. I mean, act like you had a real good meal and somebody gave you some money and you ain't have to pay for it. Make some noise. There's a song that we sing because we know that some things just are the way they are, but we don't give up on it. We don't give up. Pick it up. I gotta swear like this. Hearts of fire, create love, desire, take you high and higher to the place on the throne. Hearts of fire, create love, desire, high and higher to the place on the throne. Come together on this special day. Yeah. Send a message loud and clear. Looking back will touch those soft days. Yeah. Future past will disappear. You will find peace of mind when you look way down in your heart and soul. I don't hesitate, 'cause this world seems cold. Stay young, get high. Don't you ever, no, never grow apart. Hey, hey, that's the way of the world. Plant your flowers and you'll grow a pearl. A child is born with a heart of gold. Way of the world, and then the heart grows cold. Hey. Ooh. Make 'em feel it, y'all. Make 'em feel it. You almost there. Go. That's my jurisdiction, y'all. Douglas play. Hey. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's Mr. Douglas Burnett. That's the way of the world. Plant your flowers and you grow a pearl. A child is born with the heart of the way of the world, and their heart grows cold. I need you to understand that hate is a taught thing. When a child is born, they don't hate. And we have to pay attention to the words that come out of our mouths, because they're sponges and they receive and they listen. And we have to be careful about what we allow in our ears, because we're sponges and we receive and we listen. Just make sure you're listening to the right thing. Tell yourself, reclaim the dream. Tell yourself, reclaim the dream. Reclaim the dream. Reclaim the dream. I won't have this conversation with you again. I got that from being a mom. I'm almost so good. Give me my next one is. I need you to understand this. Sometimes you're going to be broken. Sometimes you're going to be knocked back down. It's okay. There's a song that says, still I rise. Still I rise. Yet still I rise. Never to give up. Never to give in against all odds. Yet still I rise high above the clouds. Sometimes I feel low, yet still I rise. Listen to the words that songs have. If it sounds like it's tearing you down, don't listen to them. If it's bringing negativity, all you have to do is look out the door. You don't have to actually pay for the music that will tear you down. Does that make sense? How about we look at this wonderful world that we're living in, we reclaim the dream, and turn this whole thing around? I'm ready. I'm ready. I had to come down. What a wonderful world. I see skies of blue, clouds of white, warm, blessed days and dark, sacred nights, and nothing to myself. Ooh, what a wonderful world. Even now, all the colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of the people passing by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? All they're really saying is, honey, I love you. Hear babies cry, and I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than you and I will ever know. And I think to myself, woo, what a wonderful world, yeah. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Oh, yeah. Go out and reclaim the dream. Go out and reclaim the dream. So the message I have for you. Hold on just a little while longer. Hold on just a little while longer. Hey, hold on just a little while longer, and everything will be alright. Hey, fight on just a little while longer. Fight on just a little while longer. Come on, fight on just a little while longer, and everything will be alright. Pray on just a little while longer. Pray on just a little while longer. Pray on just a little while longer. Everything will be
Ladies and gentlemen, my very good friend, Mr. Wally Webster.
Thank you very much. Donnie, the next time that you put the program together, make sure that I'm not following Josephine, okay? Good evening, everyone. It is a tremendous honor for me to stand before you tonight on the 41st anniversary of Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. federal holiday in honor of his great services to this country. First, I want to thank Donnie Griffin, the board of directors, and other leaders of Lift Every Voice Legacy for granting me this great privilege to share my personal story and how it intertwines with Dr. King's story, which inspires me to this day and will continue to inspire me for the rest of my life. I was born and grew up in the swamps of Theodore, Alabama, a small town west of Mobile. Segregation was the only way of life. White folks were superior and privileged race. Black folks were the inferior and second-class race. Segregation was deeply rooted in Jim Crow. These laws were not only enforced by the sworn police officers, but they were enforced by the KKK, known as the Ku Klux Klan. They not only were a terrorist group then, but they're a domestic terrorist group today. If a black person acted in any other way than a second class or a submissive individual, you could easily find yourself tortured, hanging from a tree, or floating in a river. I never will forget, I was 10 years old on August 28, 1955. Emmett Till, a 14-year-old kid from Chicago, was visiting his relatives in Drew, Mississippi. He was accused of offending a white woman. He was later that night dragged from his relative's house, tortured, lynched, and his body was found floating in the Tallahatchie River. We did not have cell phones in those days, but the word traveled fast. My dad, who was a short, stocky man, Baptist preacher, made his 4 boys come into the house and sit on the floor, staring at him side by side, staring up at him. And he lectured us as he paced back and forth in front of us. He lectured us and reminded us of the rules of segregation, the rules of Jim Crow, and what it could do and could not do, and what we had to do and not do to survive as black boys living in the Deep South, especially in Mississippi and Alabama. I can hear his voice now. Don't you ever look at a white woman in the face, or no other way. You look down at the ground, or you turn and go in a different direction. You say, yes, ma'am. And in those days, we said, yassa. And to a white man, you say, no, sir. Do you hear what I say? Do you hear me? Do you understand what I'm telling you? And that's when he heard about the boy from Chicago who came to Mississippi, but he didn't know the rules of segregation. He didn't know the rules of Jim Crow. And you see what happened to him. The black communities in the South were on high alert. On Sundays, black preachers, including my dad, would include in their sermons survival behaviors and mannerisms. How to keep from being lynched. 4 months later, on December 5th, 1955, about a month after my 11th birthday, black communities across the country, especially in the Deep South, were still in shock and reeling from the death of Emmett Till. On that day, the most courageous and transformative civil rights movement in the history of America came into being. It was known as the Montgomery Bus Boycott. The Montgomery bus boycott was a mass protest against the segregated bus system in Montgomery, Alabama. The genesis of this movement was when Rosa Parks, an African-American woman, was arrested for refusing to get up and give her seat to a white man so he could sit down. The boycott was so successful that the local civil rights leaders decided to extend indefinitely this strike. A group came together and formed, known as the Montgomery Improvement Association, to support and sustain the boycott and formulate challenges to the Jim Crow laws. Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., the charismatic pastor of Dexter Avenue Baptist Church, was elected president of the MIA. He was a powerful orator. Local leaders believed he could rally the various factions of the Black American community to that cause. I remember it vividly because my parents and adults in our village doubled down on being safe and aware of our surroundings because they were concerned that the KKK would easily find targets to strike fear and vigilance. Let's fast forward for about 8 years to 1962. By that time, I had traveled 2,500 miles on a journey in the back of a bus from the bayous of Alabama to Pasco, Washington. I can still see my mom crying as she fried chicken and baked a pound cake while I was insisting on preparing to leave home for the first time. When I boarded the bus in Mobile, I had two small cardboard boxes, one with a fried chicken and a pound cake and a loaf of bread in it, and the others with a change of clothes, and less than $20 in my pocket after I purchased my bus ticket. I had been living in Pasco about 8 months, homesick, missing my loving and close-knit family. That was on August 28, 1963. The March on Washington occurred. More than 250,000 people participated. It was in this space where Dr. King stood on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial and delivered his I Have a Dream speech. A speech that will go down in history as one of the most thought-provoking, most patriotic, the greatest challenge for our democracy in the history of this nation. I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream that one day down in Alabama, with its vicious racist, with its governors having his lips dripping with the words of interposition and nullification, one day, right there in Alabama, little black boys and black girls will be able to join hands with little white boys and white girls as sisters and brothers. I have a dream. Dr. King went on to caution us, however, in the process of gaining our rightful place, we must not be guilty of wrongful deeds. Let us not seek to satisfy our thirst for freedom by drinking from the cup of bitterness and hatred. I sat and listened in Pasco. Dr. King said, I have a dream that the day will all God's children will be able to sing with a new meaning. My country, 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of the Puritan pride, from every mountainside, let freedom ring. I started reflecting on the segregated living environment in Pasco, comparing it with the segregation I lived in Theodore, Alabama. Reflecting on my 5-day journey on the back of the bus, asking myself, why? The same segregation and the same segregated living conditions that exist in Theodore also exist in my new runaway home, Pasco, Washington. 95% of the black folks in Pasco live in segregated on the east side, lived in segregation on the east side of Pasco, across the track of the Burlington Northern Railroad. The elementary and middle school where the students went on the east side was named Whittier School. It was segregated, just like the schools that I went through when I lived in Theodore, Alabama, segregated schools. 90% of the residents worked in low income, blue collar, or no collar jobs. Having witnessed Jim Crow cruelty, hearing the echoes of segregation in Pasco, I could hear the voice of Dr. King rising from the den, urging me to act, to stand out. And I did speak. I went to pulpits of churches. I went to town hall meetings, fueled not by anger, but by love for justice more than my faith. I was 17 years old, lying in bed one night, could not sleep, and decided to become a civil rights activist. I organized the Tri-Cities first chapter of the Conference on Racial Equality, Elementary School. I organized and led many demonstrations that led to the closure of the segregated Whittier School. I launched the first and the largest voter rights registration drive in the history of Pasco. I hope the statute of limitations expired now. But I was only 17 years old and was not eligible to vote. I got 2 adults to agree to be voter registrars. I stood behind them and witnessed their swearing in as registrars. They received instructions and were given several boxes of voter registration forms. When we got back to East Pasco, I took those boxes and forms and went door to door, completed those forms for residents to sign. More than 350 residents registered to vote for the first time. A few years later, developed a federal funding grant, economic development program, which resulted in the hiring of the first sworn Black police officer in Pasco. Also, the first Black business in the Federal Building in Richland, Washington. I organized and advocated and got funding with the help of Congressman Mike McCormick and Senator Warren Magnuson for the construction of a Pasco MLK Community Center, which is to this day in service and a meeting place for the community. The city of Pasco agreed to be the co-sponsor of this grant, provided that the facility would be self-sustaining. I went to Olympia and made a pitch to Governor Dan Edmonds. As a result of that, the offices of the Department of Employment Security, Social and Health Services signed tenant leases to underwrite the cost of operating that facility. If we are to reclaim the tree, we must focus on and be proactive in economic justice and the right to vote. As you will recall, Dr. King was assassinated in Memphis, Tennessee on April 4th, 1968. He gave his life supporting African-American sanitation workers. At that time, Memphis paid Black sanitation workers significantly lower wages than it paid its white sanitation workers. Economic justice means actively addressing economic disparities and working toward a society where everyone has access to fair economic opportunities. Economic justice means accessing higher education, technical, certificated training and programs. In the old days, that meant hammers and saws. Today, that means AI technologies. The right to vote. Dr. King fought for the right to vote for all citizens. Reclaiming the dream means protecting and expanding voters' rights to ensure that every eligible citizen can participate in the democratic process. Donnie, reclaiming the dream of Dr. King requires ongoing commitment, reflection, and collective actions to build a more just and inclusive and equitable society. I'm going to go off script for a second. Let me tell you a story. When I came to Pasco, my uncle asked me if I would like to go to college. And I said yes. He took me to college, the community college. I interviewed with this gentleman, this white gentleman, for 5 minutes or less. He looked at me, my head down, never looked a white man in the face in my life. And he said, "You are not college material." See that bulletin board over there? There's a sign in the corner. Standard Oil is looking for truck drivers. Another gentleman who was sitting behind him walked up and put his arms around my shoulders and said, "Sit down, I want to talk to you." And I sat down. He said, "You want to go to college?" I said, "Yes, sir." I know the gentleman. He said, "Yes, I'll never forget it the rest of my life." He said, "I'm going to get you in, but I want you to major in accounting." I said, "What's that?" He said, "That means 2 plus, see that kid over there?" I said, "Yes." He pointed to a white kid. He said, "That kid's getting 2 plus 2 equals 4 in 2 minutes, and it takes you 2 hours to get 2 plus 2 equals 4. You both have 4. You both get the same, right?" I went on to major in accounting. I got 2 AAs from the community college. I went on and got my undergraduate in accounting. I went on and got my master's degree. But I was not college material. Later on, I went on to be on the board of trustees of Edmonds College and chair of the board, but I was not able to be a college student. I went on and spent 32 years in the financial services industry and rose to the rank of a senior vice president in a major bank corporation, but I was not eligible to go to college. I was not college material. I got that from determination that I learned from Dr. King. In closing, as I reflect on increasing normalization and polarization and hatred in our country, far right versus far left, liberals versus conservatives, democracies versus autocracies, negative woke versus positive woke. The beloved community is not just the absence of tension and conflict, but where people live together in peace and in harmony. We cannot, as Dr. King warned, be bystanders in the face of opposition. Silence is compliance. Let us carry Dr. King's torch together, our voices as a course against injustice, and actions as a testament of our shared humanity. I thank God for the blessing that He's given me. It's allowed me to emerge from the horrible experiences, the demeaning and debasing experiences of my youth, without hatred, without bitterness, without animosity, but with humility, love for everyone, and a desire to be a connector for my community, for the greater good of all. For allowing me to work to fulfill my creed. If I can leave this world a better place than I found it, then my living will not be in vain. Every day I strive to leave Snohomish County a better place than I found it 46 years ago. Tonight, let us vow we will walk humbly together in our faith, in our love, and our mercy, and fight for justice tirelessly. Dr. King's legacy and our inheritance in the light that guide us towards a better tomorrow. Thank you, and God bless you.
Performed last year in our morning program. I don't know if you know much about our morning program, but they really take over the stage, they take over the entire place, and there's so much activity going on, and it's so joyous. I saw this group, and it just gave me joy to see them. I mean, I just lit up. And so I asked Pat Vallier, who is also on the LEVL board, but she is co-chair of our morning program. I said, how can I get them to come to the evening program and share joy with us? And she said, well, just ask them. So I did, and they're here. Grupo Floridico, please take the stage.
embrace the virtues of the beloved community is to shine a spotlight on those who are serving people in a number of ways, day in and day out without much limelight. And frankly, they like it that way. That makes them the candidate or a candidate for LEVL's Beloved Community Award. And as I have shared with you before, often the person or persons involved show great surprise and reluctance to acknowledge these accolades. Such is the case tonight.
My name is Gloria Burgess, and I'm a leadership consultant and coach and a community catalyst. And I stand on some pretty broad shoulders. My mom and dad, who are my mentors, Gwendolyn Brooks and Vera Embray, both community servants as well. I was blessed to live in Edmonds for 36 years. I got to raise my daughter there, and I love the community. I love the growing diversity and engagement. My main takeaway from being involved with the Lift Every Voice legacy from its beginning is that the community is involved, and we know beyond a shadow of a doubt that we need all of us working together, pulling together to keep on keeping on, to get to that place that we call the beloved community. I'm so grateful for this award. This is my life's work. I want to thank God. I also want to thank Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. for taking scripture and lifting it up and taking it to the streets. I want to thank Donnie and the board for selecting me. I want to thank my husband, John, my soulmate from high school, and I thank him for his lifelong support. And finally, I want to thank Karen Beaudry for being here to accept the award on my behalf and each one of you, because you are the beloved community. Thank you.
I know you're a very good friend of Gloria. She called me and said, I'm sending the very best. So on behalf of the Lift Every Voice Board of Directors, we present this award to you on behalf of the board. I think it sounds important. We don't have a mic. Yeah, well, I heard people say that before, and the people in the back say, what did she say? So we'll.
Now I don't have hands. I'm shedding. Thank you. I'm Karen Beaudry. I'm delighted to accept this award from my dear friend and colleague of over 30 years, Gloria Burgess, who is not with us tonight because she's relocated to North Carolina. But she wants you to know that she is here with us in spirit. And in Gloria's own words that she wrote and sent me earlier this morning, I am honored and humbled to receive this award. Creating beloved community is my calling. It's my life's work, and I'm blessed that I get to do this work for this generation and the generations to come. Thank you.
We have one more Beloved Community Award to present.
Hi, everyone. I am Carrie Mata. I am the CEO at the Community Foundation of Snohomish County. So we are sometimes considered like a matchmaker in between families and donors who are interested in supporting community and nonprofits and public agencies that are doing good work in the community.
I am the president of the Snohomish County Black Heritage Committee. Community Foundation wanted to support that as far as helping to take off some of the burden it costs because of their belief in us, we've been able to step up a notch as far as visibility, promotion, and getting the word out, being able to pay for like our headliners for the Nubian Jam, just being able to expand the work and being able to enlarge our territory. We are so grateful for their partnership.
Our equity statement was done over the course of 6 or 7 months. And it involved a lot of really deep conversations. So it was really desired by our board to move us from talking to action. We are incredibly humbled. It's the work that we do with LEVL and the partners that are in the audience here tonight. So thank you.
It gives me great pleasure to present this award to the Community Foundation of Snohomish County, and accepting the award is the board chair, Dr. Gloria Nguzi.
You got it right.
And the board chair-elect, Nashida Stando. Close enough.
Thank you, everybody. My name is Gloria Gazajo. On behalf of the Community Foundation, with our chair-elect, Nashika here, we're very proud and honored tonight. But I'll have to say this, we heard here earlier, it's not by the color of their skin, but the content of their character, right? And so I think that would be a dishonor for me, for us. And in memory of the Reverend Dr. King, if we were to stand here and accept this award without actually acknowledging the visionary and the person behind everything that the Community Foundation has been doing and continues to do. And it's just been, I don't even have words to say what it's been like. And so I would like to invite our CEO, Carrie Matad, to the stage, because we are a team of 3. That's the leadership team of the Community Foundation. Carrie, you want to come up here, please? This right here is the person who deserves the flowers tonight. And we're just here to say thank you. And I don't know if you have words to say, but you are the reason why everything is happening at the Community Foundation. I want everybody to know that. It is all Carrie, the visionary.
It's true. We have a shared model of leadership, and as I've said before, since our first conversation, I would follow you anywhere. You're an amazing leader, and we are community people who get to do community work, and we're blessed to do that with you.
Thank you.
One of the things that I'm just delighted to share with you, and if you've been to our programs before, you've heard me say this, that when we present these awards, when I call them up and say our board has elected you to be the recipient of a beloved community award, they always say, no, not me. Or let me give you some other people. In the case of Carrie, she avoided my call for 2 days. But I have friends. And so that to me is a sign that we chose the right organization and the right people. So thank you very much. And we appreciate your work. And now you can go undercover again. There was a video that I'd like to share with you. This is something that I had in my mind Usually we have a little snippet of Dr. King and some of his speeches and his family, and we're going to show that next. And hopefully we'll be able to dim the lights so that you can see it. I'm releasing the accused from the back. But I also had asked Josephine to sing a song. I did have a song for her to sing. But one of my friends, Bob, niece, and Annie Small, who live in Southern California, said they saw that program and they heard her sing and they cried. So I'm going to show that video, and I asked Josephine if she would sing that song one more time.
Go out and tell the story. Let it go, far and wide. Make them hear you. Make them hear you. How justice was our battle, and how justice was denied. Make them hear you. Make them hear you. And say to those who blamed us for the way we chose to fight, that sometimes there are battles that are more than black and white. And I will not lay down my sword when justice was my right. Make them hear you. Make them hear you. Go out and tell the story to your daughters and your sons. Make them hear you. Make them hear you. And tell them in our battle we were not the only ones. Make them hear you. Make them hear you. You see, a sword can be a sermon or the power of a pin. Teach every child to raise their voice, and then my people then can justice be denied in million righteous men. Make them hear you. Make them hear you. Go out and tell the story. Let it echo far and wide. Make them hear you. Make them hear you. How justice was our battle, and how justice was denied. Make them hear you. Make them hear you. And say to those who blamed us for the way we chose to fight, that sometimes there are battles that are more than black or white. And I will not lay down my sword when justice is my right. Make them hear you. Make them hear you. Go out and tell the story. Let it echo far and wide. Make them hear hear you. Make them hear you. How justice was a battle, and how justice has been denied. Make them hear you. Make them hear you. You see, a sword can be a sermon, or the power of a pen. Teach every child to raise their voice, and then my people then can justice be denied. 10 million righteous men, make them hear you. Make them hear you. Make them hear you. For when they hear you, we'll all be free.
So if there's a little public around tonight, I just did one kind of funny. I mentioned that during the COVID time, Pat Walker, where are you, Pat? Pat says, make sure that Donnie corrects this. So my wife came over to remind me. I said the film, the video had been seen by 6 people. Did you get that? Yeah. Around the world. Remember that part too? Well, it was 6,000. In fact, there were some universities in Scotland that actually used it as part of a class. I don't know what the class was. It's a good reason to go to Scotland and find out. But I was just impressed with more than 6,000 people around the world saw the video. So this is the time where we thank you for your patience. I see so many good friends in the audience. Thank you for supporting this. I see some new friends, and we just appreciate the fact that you are part of our beloved community. If you want to continue to be a part, we don't send out a lot of emails, but we do have a caring community sign-up sheet as you leave. And if you are not a part of that community, some many of you are, please sign up. We'd love to keep in touch with you. And in the morning program, we had, gosh, you can't, if you didn't see this morning program with these kids and these parents, I don't know how many different stations that you had out there, Keith, but they were upstairs and downstairs. There was dancing, there was artwork, there was reading, and it just, I talked to a couple from Bothell, Eric and Sonny, have their 2 kids here, and I said, wow, from Bothell. And they said, yeah, we have these children and they get the day off, but we don't know where to take them, so we saw the program and we brought them here. And so that just says to me, we're doing good stuff and we're reaching people at young ages and in various different generations. And so, I mean, we're kind of old folk. I'm kind of old folk. But I'm just delighted to know that we're passing it on.
Looked at me kind of funny when you said pass it on. Well, I think with that being said, that's only one thing we got left to do, and that's Josephine and the ensemble one more time.
This is our finale. Oh, by the way, thank you, morning group, Keith Gustafson, Pat Valle, and that whole volunteer team, my board. person that you see bringing the mics and taking it off? Yeah, like Heidi is actually our treasurer, but when she's not being our treasurer, she's the city clerk and treasurer of the township of Woodway. So, thank you. And let's see, I think Steve Woodard is out there somewhere. There's Steve. Steve is also a board member. He's a city council person from Marlboro Terrace. And the vice, yes, is also a vice president of community engagement for Volunteers of America. So all of these people, if I've forgotten anybody from our board, all of these people come together and make this community what it is, and they're dedicated in their heart are for building a community free of hatred, injustice, and politics. Then you probably think I'm going to sing with the choir. Dave Teisel, that's not going to happen. But anyway, this is our finale, and y'all worked up something that I don't know anything about. So this is what I'm going to do. Leave. We got